Hello, welcome to the Darts Referee YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. But today I wanted to go through everything that I thought about the WDF World Championships. I want to go through things that I thought was good, things that I thought they could have improved on, things that maybe they should do next year instead that they maybe didn't do this year. And I just want to go through all of that sort of stuff. So if you want to give any opinions, then please leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to have a read through and see what you guys thought. But this is today's video. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's go through the things that I thought were good to start off with. We'll start on a positive note. Let's go through all the things that I thought was pretty good and I was really happy with or impressed by. So the first thing was the broadcast. Now, I wasn't expecting much out of this. It wasn't going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's not the PDC. It's not Sky. It is essentially a YouTube channel and the WDF. Now, that could have been pretty basic. I feel like basic, as far as basic goes, the Moda Super Series is good for what they do, but it would never work on Sky because it's too basic. It was quite similar to the Moda Super Series the first sort of 5 or 6 days where they didn't really have loads of production, but it was good enough. It was plenty good enough. And then the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I think it was something to do with them actually being shown on TV. The production level went like really high and it was almost as good as the BDO used to be. It was TV quality production, and I thought they did a really good job. And it can't be easy to sort of try and make a professional thing look good on what I would imagine was quite a small budget, definitely a smaller budget than the PDC have with Sky and stuff. So I thought the whole production of the event was actually pretty good, and they were showing things. I mean, we'll get onto some negatives later. The only thing that sort of let them down was the spotters, or whoever was doing that sort of thing. But we'll get to that in a little while. But I thought overall, the camera changes and the angles and stuff and the commentary, and we had Scott Mitchell and that lady Jo, I can't remember what her surname was. I thought they were a good partner as well, and I thought they brought the whole event kind of like together, because in the first few days without those guys doing the presenting and stuff, it was a little bit, the gaps between the matches were massive and there was nothing to fill the gaps with, and yeah, it was good. I was happy with it. The next thing let's talk about, the overall standard, you know what, I thought was decent. Andy Barton's was by far the best player. He deserved to win that, and he did win it reasonably comfortably. But the overall standard, once you got sort of like quarterfinals onwards, really good. I can't complain about that. There were some lower standard games in the first round and there's maybe the second round, but that's kind of to be expected a little bit. The ways that people qualify for these events, it's not easy, and because they didn't have a World Championship last year, essentially, it was a long time. So some players were qualifying for this event like 18 plus months ago. So the standard is going to be a little bit up and down when it comes to people who have regular jobs, who are qualified 18 months ago for an event. You don't know how you're going to be coming into this event standard wise, but I thought the standard was pretty good. It's not the PDC level. I think everyone understands that, or the majority of people understand it's not the PDC level, and you've got experience and you've got to enjoy what's in front of you, and I did. I don't watch that much darts, to be completely honest. I watch the World Championships, I watch the UK Open, I watch the Premier League if it's on and I'm just having a darts practice, but for the most part I don't watch loads of darts. But I thought this was a decent enough standard to make it an enjoyable watch. Another thing I thought that they did really well with was using the Dart Connect system. This is something that won't really be looked at by the majority of viewers, but I thought the Dart Connect system and the way that they had it set up was the same way they had the old system set up when it was the BDO and stuff, and they were using darts for Windows. But the darts for Windows, for whatever reason, you often get a couple of glitches, and there's also often some moments in the World Championships for the WDF and the BDO where the system doesn't work and they have to stop the play. I think there was only one time in the whole tournament where they had to kind of like delay a start of a match or delay the return after a break because the system was playing up, and it just looks good on the screen as well. The little Dart Connect graphics, I thought they looked great. I think they look better than the old ones as well. So I thought that was pretty good. I would love to see markers up there. I do think markers are better, but I appreciate you've got to pay 2 people. You've got to pay 2 extra people to do a job that a computer can do, and you got to pay them for like 10 days or whatever. So I do understand why they haven't got markers. I'd love to see markers. Maybe WDF, hit me up this time next year if you want a marker. I'll come and sort you out. I'll come and do it, no problem. But I thought the system was great, and I thought they'd done a really good job at sort of doing that side of things. Another thing I thought that they did really, really well was the commentary. You often find when you get darts commentary that, especially in Sky, you have a few of the commentators are exceptionally good, fantastic commentators, and a few of them are just kind of like not that great. There's no like middle ground of they're all right, but they're not amazing. It's like they're either fantastic, amazing commentators, or they're just not great at all. And I feel like the WDF this year, with their commentators, there was one guy who was commentating for the majority of it. I don't even know what his name was. But there was one guy who was commentating for a lot of it, and he was very, very good. There was a lot of times where I've listened to him and I've thought, this man knows what he's talking about. He really knows what he's talking about. He knows the game inside out, and he knows the players inside out as well, because that's another thing that's difficult when it comes to the lower standard of darts, is it's hard to know who everyone is. But he was extremely good. Now, this is probably going to be, I just think this one commentator was fantastic, and the other commentators were decent. They were good. But yeah, I don't know who his name was. I'm sure someone told me on Twitter. I can't remember what his name was. But if anyone knows who I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to drop him a follow on Twitter or Instagram or wherever he is. I thought he was fantastic, and I thought the rest of the commentary team were pretty good as well. And just kind of like the last real positive was just the calling team. It's not the most looked at job. It's not the easiest job. It's not the hardest job either. But I thought the calling team did a really good job. There weren't really any mistakes anywhere, and I thought they did really well. Okay, so on to a few of the slight negatives, not like big negatives. There was nothing in the tournament that I thought that's bad. There's a few things that I think could be improved on, and let's just go through those. So we'll start off with the live stream. We'll talk about the live stream. I've got two issues with the live stream. So just to say, first of all, well done on the live stream. I thought the fact that it was on YouTube was really good. I don't feel like it needs a TV channel, to be completely honest. I think YouTube is plenty accessible nowadays, and loads of people use YouTube. You're sitting watching this video right now on YouTube, and it was a really easy way for me to be able to watch the darts. I really enjoyed just being able to go, oh, it's on YouTube, watch it on my phone, watch it on the computer, watch it on my laptop, watch it on my tablet, watch it on the TV. I've got YouTube on my TV as well, on all the TVs in the house. And it was just really easy to be able to follow along what's going on. Because when it's on the TV, you often can't watch it on your phone, which kind of sucks. So if you're doing something where you're not at a TV that has Sky or has whatever regular channels, you can't watch it. But with the YouTube, it made it really accessible. The only issues I had with the YouTube was, the first one was the ads. Now, I pay for YouTube Premium. That is the greatest subscription that I pay for. I had a look on my stats, because you get stats on YouTube Premium. I watch about 4 hours of YouTube a day. So the premium, no ads, fantastic. But the majority of people don't pay for YouTube Premium, and I saw a lot of people, and I did watch one of the streams without my YouTube Premium account, with another account, just to see what everyone was complaining about. Everyone was complaining about the ads that kept showing up in the middle of matches and stuff, and it was kind of frequent. Now, this is just kind of like a message to the people at WDF who are doing the YouTube side of things. In your YouTube settings, there is actually, for the live streams, there's a setting where you can turn off the random ads, and you can manually add in your adverts. So when it comes to your ad revenue and stuff, I totally appreciate putting ads in there. But I think it would have been a much better and it would have been a better idea to manually control when the ads go in. And you'd have probably got more ads in the videos anyway. It would have been better to manually control when the ads go in, instead of let the ads randomly do themselves whenever they want, because a lot of people were saying, oh, I'm trying to watch the match winning double, and I've just gone to an ad and I've come back and then the match is over. So I definitely would have changed that. The other thing was the YouTube live stream chat. Now, that was a ballsy move, leaving the chat open, I must admit. I respect the move to leave the chat open. I just don't know if it was the greatest idea. If you're going to leave the chat open, you go for it. I've got no problem with that. But I definitely think you need some chat moderators, just to kind of like keep the chat in check a little bit. The problem was there was so much sexist comments, so many racist comments. It was a difficult watch. I every now and then I'd open the chat and I'd read it and I think, oh my god, this isn't good for the sport whatsoever. This is actually quite bad for the sport of darts, because it showcases a minority, yes, but it showcases what the fans are like, if that makes sense. Not all of them, of course, but the problem was the chat was really bad. So all I would say is get yourself a team of moderators. You just need people you can trust who will do a good job. I mean, you are streaming to, like, at some points there was like 30,000 plus viewers at once, and they've all got access to leave comments and to leave messages in the chat. You just need a team of 10 moderators. You don't have to pay them or anything like that. You don't have to worry about the money. You just need 10 people who are going to be watching the streams who are trustworthy enough. Even if they're like mates of people who work at the company. You just need people who are moderators who can go in. That's not very nice. That's not a good look for darts. Block, mute. You can even time them out for 5 minutes or more. Just time them out. Let them know that that sort of stuff isn't acceptable in a chat that's kind of like this important, if that makes sense. But overall, yeah, I mean, I'm nowhere near 30,000 concurrent viewers. I will get somewhere between 200 and 400 for the majority of my streams. Sometimes a little bit higher if the stream's like a big stream. And I have about 5 or 6 moderators who in my streams who are just keeping their eye out for people who are just being unfriendly, whatever. And they know what to do. And I feel like having some moderators would really benefit the stream and stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree. Another thing I had a little bit of an issue with watching was the spotters or the camera system or whatever it is that was being used. The spotters, I don't know if it was like a communication from, because normally on the TV stuff you have a spotter who has the communication to the cameraman, and the cameraman does what the spotter asks, basically goes to the section of board that the spotter believes the next dart is going to be thrown at. There were a lot of darts missed. A lot of darts were you just didn't see them go in because the spotter was somewhere else on the board. And I don't know if that was, or the cameraman, sorry, not the spotter. I don't know if that was down to the spotter. I don't know if that was down to the cameraman, but I definitely think a system needs to be in place, or you need to have a cameraman who's knows darts a little bit as well. I've always thought this. I've never understood the whole point of a spotter, because darts maths, once you get to a certain standard, is the easiest thing. You just know it, don't you? You know that on 147 he's going to go treble 20, he's probably going to go treble 17. If he hits it, he's going to go double 18. You just know that as a darts fan. And I just think if you're going to get a cameraman in, see if you can find a cameraman who's got a bit of darts knowledge, or I don't know, because I don't know how this whole thing works when it comes to the WDF. But I just thought the spotter could have been a bit better, or the cameraman could have been a bit better, and I saw a lot of comments on socials as well about that. And the only other thing that I'd like to sort of talk about is to do with the women's game. There was 2 things that I wasn't the biggest fan of when it comes to the girls and the ladies when it comes to this tournament, and that was, I thought, second round for the women's, for the ladies, the senior ladies, I thought the second round should have been best of 5 sets. I think if you're qualifying all year, in this instance over the course of nearly 2 years, and you're winning events and stuff, and you've just won your first match, the first game best of 3 sets, okay, I understand it. Second game, I think the second game should be best of 5 sets, and then sort of go on as you did. I thought the rest of the format was fine, but I do think second game best of 5 sets, I think that would be better for the overall just the overall darts, especially for the women. I think they put as much time in as the men when it comes to WDF. They're also travelling around doing this, that and the other. Give them a little bit more time on TV. I definitely think that would benefit the whole experience. And the other thing is to do with the girls. The boys tournament showed, I appreciate you can't show the whole boys tournament because it wouldn't make any sense, but the boys tournament showed on TV the semi-finals and the finals, whereas the girls was only the finals. I would like to see the semi-finals being shown as well, just so there's a bit of fairness when it comes to that sort of stuff. But other than that, I thought the tournament was great. I really enjoyed watching it. I was coming home every day after work, flicking it on, catching the end of the afternoon session, coming in here, playing darts, watching the evening session. I think everyone who was involved in this tournament and everyone who was participating, whether it was behind the scenes, playing, calling, commentary, presenting, all of that stuff, I think you should all be really proud of yourself with how this tournament went. I really enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people did as well. So yeah, overall, thank you for the tournament. I thought it was great. I didn't have a lot of things to say bad about it, but there are just a couple of things that I think would maybe improve it for next year. But overall, thank you very much for the tournament. I thought it was really good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. If you had any thoughts watching this, then let me know. I'd love to hear and have a chat with you in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.